Hi, I'm Barb from Charmed and Chopped in downtown Stony Creek. And just to let you know, this is actually my first tutorial, and but there'll be many more to come. So make sure you follow so you get notification on the next video that's going to be released. And if you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the comments and I will respond as soon as we're done. And also, if there's anything that you want to learn about or you would like to see how it's done, if you want to give some suggestions on what kind of videos you want to see, we can also take a look at that as well. So today what we're going to do is I'm going to talk about and show you how to glaze. I'm using Fusion Mineral Paints Antique Glazing, which is an awesome brown color. And we're going to be putting it over cathedral taupe. So now what I've done so far, just so you know, I've obviously prepped the piece and then I've given it 2 coats of cathedral taupe. And now you want to make sure that your paint has sat for a good 24 hours prior to doing this technique, because this is a water base and it takes some time for it to cure. If you put the glaze on too soon, what's going to happen is you could reactivate the paint, and then all you're doing is moving the paint around and the things get blended together and it just could be a whole hot mess. So we don't really want to do that. So anyway, you want to prep your piece, put your color on that you want, and then what you want to do is wait that 24 hours. And I'm just using the Fusion little brushes. These are synthetic brushes. These brushes, they look like chip brushes, but they're much more than that. And they are fantastic for stuff like this. So I like the small, the little 1-inch, because you can actually get into all your details. So what we want to do is we want to put this pretty much all over, and there's really no right or wrong way of getting this on. You want to put enough on that it's going to sit in the crevices. So if you take a look at this side where I've already done it, you can see the difference in the 2 doors. So this is going to give the color more depth, and it's going to sit into all the crevices, so it gives it more of an antique look. Obviously, if there's someone that wants a nice clean line paint job on a piece of furniture, this would not be the go-to to do that with. So I'm just going to show you, I'm just going to do maybe half this door and show you with the detailed area so you can see. Now what you want to do is with your brush, you want to get right in there into all the crevices, because that's where it's going to sit after. And you want to make sure that it's going to add and leave a little bit of color behind. Now with the glaze, you can actually put it on thinner with your brush and you can actually leave it. It does have a long open time, which means, for those that haven't done this before, is it stays wet for a very long time. So you've got a lot of play time with it. So, and I always say less is better, because, so what I'm going to do is take a lint-free cloth, and I love these cloths. You buy them by the bags, and we actually rewash them and reuse them, but they're lint-free, and you can get them on sale at, seriously, Canadian Tire is one of my favorite places, and they'll have these rags on sale. So now basically all I'm going to do is I'm going to just start, and I'm not using a whole lot of elbow grease here. We're talking, I just want to play with it till it gets to the point where what I want it to look like. So you can see where I've pulled it back, but see how it's sitting in there? If it's too much, I'll use my fingers and kind of just push it in. You don't need to press hard at all, because the whole idea is to leave some behind. Now say you're working with a lighter color, it's coming a little darker than you had hoped for, then you can actually use a damp cloth and it'll take even more off. So don't be afraid to play and experiment, and then just keep, because you can see how nicely it warms up the color even on pieces that don't have the detail. And this particular piece, there's a lot of grain in the wood, and I'm not sure if you can see it on camera, but it will actually pull out the grain. So the grain, it looks like you're highlighting it. When I paint, I personally don't like hiding the fact that it's wood. When it is a really nice piece of furniture and a nice piece of wood, all we want to do is change the color, add some more personality, and then so you can see how it changes, and you can put more. Now, if this isn't enough for you, that's okay too. Let it dry and leave it for a good 24 hours again, and then you can always go back and do another coat. Don't try to do another coat for at least 24 hours because it could just become, again, pretty messy and reactivating things. And honestly, I've been through all of it with the experimenting over the years, and I know sometimes waiting for things to dry and giving things 12 hours here, 24 hours here, it can be a little difficult when you kind of want to see the results, but it's definitely well worth it. So, you know, you want to kind of go in all directions because you want to give this a weathered, antique look. So I'm not sure how much you can see on camera, but I think it's pretty good. So what I'm trying to do is I've done these two drawers already, and they're a bit shiny in spots, so you can see that they're still wet. I just wanted you to see the difference. This drawer is not done at all, and this one, we are on our way to finishing it. So when another tip, a little word of advice, is I do tend to work in sections, because then you have a little more control of what the overall piece is going to match and what you're highlighting. Because if you, I personally, but I mean, you could, everybody finds their own technique and their way of doing anything. There's really no right or wrong way to this. Gives you a lot of play time because it doesn't dry that fast, and it gives you that opportunity to make it your own. So you can take more off, you can leave more on, you can, there's lots of different options on what you can do. So I'll generally do like half a door at a time. If you're just starting, it might be a good idea to take your time. Don't worry about it, even if you want to do just like a corner of the door first. Get it the way you want it to, and then you kind of have a guideline to work with while you're doing. Okay, so now I'm not wearing gloves right now, but I tend to be messy all the time. So you might want to protect your hands, and you might want to wear gloves, but I always think about it, but I end up not doing it. So you kind of can get the idea here of how it highlights all the lovely detail in this piece. And this is a fantastic way of really adding personality to a piece of furniture that has all this detail, but back in the day, they pretty much, it was all one color. And you might want to add that personality by doing this, because you really, what's wrong with highlighting all this beautiful detail in this particular piece of furniture on this door? I actually did the top in the new gel stain and top coat, which will be another video that I will do and show you. It's a lot less intimidating to do this than people think. So we'll do another video in the near future on that. So that's pretty much it. That's how you glaze. You basically put it on and then you wipe it back. Just make sure your cloth is lint free. If you don't have cloths like this, another one that works really good is those blue shop towels. They're fantastic. They're good for all this kind of stuff. So now I have a very antique look on the front of these doors, which is going to be highlighted. So now You can leave it like this once it's dry, or you can actually add a tough coat, our Fusion Mineral Paint Tough Coat, and you can actually add that on after. There's really no need to if you're not in a super high traffic area, if it's not in a kitchen, if it's not going to be near any water. The paint itself is waterproof, the glaze is not, but it's still going to dry to a really good finish and you'll be able to wipe it off and whatnot. And so hopefully you can see the difference and see how easy it really was. And I'll post a picture on our website, or actually I'll post it on our Facebook page. It's probably easier for people to access once the piece is completely done. So keep your eyes open for our next video, and I will let you guys know how we did the top, and then I'll give you a total reveal of the whole piece once it's completely finished and has all the hardware and stuff on. So any questions, put them in the comments. I will promise I will try to answer them all. And any suggestions on other videos you want, don't forget, let us know about that too. And follow us, please, and then you won't miss out on any tutorials that we're going to be doing in the near future. Have a great day. See you guys later. Happy painting.